Okay, welcome to another edition of What's Happening at Phoenix. Haven't posted a video in a while, so I thought I'd show you guys what's going on at the gardens. These are our fruit trees that we planted last year. These are plums right here, and they all seem to be doing well. I pruned them. This guy's alive, but he didn't do any leafing or anything. But he does have buds and stuff, so maybe he's just taking his sweet time. And here you can see a line of pear trees. These are Ayers pear and a Japanese variety, I know. But these were about 5.5 feet tall, and I had to prune them. So I think they were about 4 or 5 year old trees. Don't know if I'll get any fruit this year. If I do, it'll be a nice surprise. But they look happy. They're leafing very nicely, and they look nice and healthy. So that's good. I wish we would have put our fruit trees in earlier. But c'est la vie. The only tree we got fruit off of last year was we got one solitary plum off of this plum tree. And I sat right there and I ate it. And it was so good and so juicy. We processed the remaining meat birds over the weekend. So these chicken tractors are empty. We're probably going to take them up to Phoenix Rising and put some birds up there. We'll just turn this over, cover it with some compost and plant in it. As you can see, spinach is doing very well. Likes this cool weather, so we're trying to plant as much as we can before the hot weather sits in. Spinach does not like hot weather at all. Here you see our little nursery flats. We've got some kale we still got to go in, some Swiss chard that'll probably be ready to put in once I get back from my graduation trip. We've got some more kale. We've got some bok choy, purple choy. This is more spinach. As I said, we're going to keep planting it. Plant. We've got some mustard greens and some cilantro. And when I get back, a lot of this stuff will be ready to go into the ground. So we've been doing a lot of bed prep here in anticipation of getting these to print. Getting ready to plant these. This is some kohlrabi. It did very well for us, so what we're going to do is let it run to seed and save the seed from it and plant it again next year. So you can see the onions. We're behind in our onions. We usually have about 10,000 planted right now, but we found a new supplier out of South Georgia that's really a lot more cost effective, but he's not going to have them ready for another 2 weeks. Our onions are going to be a little bit late this year, and you can see our artichokes are doing well. We've got cabbages and carrots and kale and more spinach, and those are some sweet peas. So we're starting to get in all the cool weather stuff that'll be done before the summer. This is we basically use these as, this is what you call a low tunnel. We basically use it as a little mini cold frame. If it's going to rain heavy or if it's going to be cold, we just pop this over and voila, we've got a little mini greenhouse. And speaking of greenhouse, as you can see, we've been filling this up. I've been having to move them out. I've been having a real problem with damping off this year. You can see some of the plants, and that's because I think I've changed my mix. I wanted to try and make it a little richer environment. But all in all, they're doing well. Our big problem this year is that we forgot a few plants in here, and they got really, really hot. You can see all the different varieties of tomatoes. The majority of these are going to go into the ground. I hope I have enough to sell some to people who want some, but with that added space, we're planting every tomato we possibly can. You can see these got burnt out. We actually left them in a very warm part of the greenhouse. These guys still have to be potted up. This side is less, does not face the sun like this side does. And what we do is we let them grow a little bit here, and then we start to harden them off in the bed out here. So you can see these Atkinsons over here are just absolutely beautiful. And actually I may try and get, because we have so many this year, I may try and get a jump start on getting some in the ground, so we'll have some a little bit earlier. We've got cabbage, and we've got carrots, and there's some kale over there. These carrots wintered over, and when I tell you they're sweet as candy, they're sweet as candy. So this is pretty much what's going on. You see our peach tree in bloom. We never get any peaches though, because peaches are too much work, and they're just too difficult to do organically. If we were to accomplish growing them, they'd probably be $10 a pound with everything that we have to do. So I'm just going to let it do what it wants to do this year, and if we get a peach, so be it. So this has been another edition of What's Happening at Phoenix. Heading to DC for my graduation in a little bit, so I got up early to just do some housekeeping and make things a little bit easier on Gwen when I'm gone. But this has been another edition of What's Happening at Phoenix. Sustainable food for a sustainable community.